morning, Year 9. I hope that everybody is doing well and that you've had a good week this week. So we're moving on now. You've done the mind map last week. So you started looking at identity in terms of personal identity, and I asked you to create a mind map last week to display everything that you thought of that related to the word self-identity and to you. So this week we're going to have a look at still the theme of identity, but you're going to be looking at and creating your own journal pages. So as you can see here, there's a selection of different journal pages, and I'm going to talk today about what journaling is, its purpose, and how it links to the creative development process within art. So that's what you're going to do today. You're going to watch this video and you're going to understand the concept, purpose and value of journaling, and you're going to be able to create your own today using both words and detailed drawings. So then, what is journaling? Well, journaling is the creative process of combining writing and drawing. So it's often created and displayed in a note-like form, and it is a really great way to get down thoughts and ideas on a page, almost to clear the mind in a creative way. So journaling can be a great way to boost well-being, cognition, so i.e. your thought process, to make it better, so you don't have lots of things whirling around in your head. Journaling can be a great way to improve sleep because you're not holding information in your mind. It can improve your communication skills because it teaches you how to effectively write things down and visually create a picture of things. Also, it can help you be more positive and find more positive outcomes in situations because you're not irrational with a decision, you're being more rational in your thoughts. So journaling might be something you've heard of before, it might not have, but I wanted to share with you today briefly some great examples of journals. Anne Frank is a really famous novelist who famously created her own journal of the events that were happening in Germany during the war and her struggle with that. Another artist that I've chosen, one of my favourite artists, her name is Camilla Wallala. She is a modern artist. She uses journaling to develop her creative ideas. So they're both two really great examples of different types of journaling that you can look at. So that is the importance of journaling. It is a great way to get down your ideas and develop creative ideas. So you can hopefully see now how the mind map links in to journaling. So I decided that you are going to start to have a look at your own self-identity and how you've been during lockdown. It was influenced by this piece here, which I actually found at the beginning of lockdown. It was by an artist. But there was no name left, unfortunately. But this is just a biro drawing, and it's obviously combines both images, high quality drawings of still life objects, and notes and thoughts and feelings throughout lockdown. This is another artist, a teacher. This one was produced by, and again, a different approach to this one. They've used colour, but again, a lockdown diary. Talking about feelings and emotions, and I thought this was a really good period now. I think we're going into week 9 or week 11 in terms of how long we've not been in school for. So it's a really great way to de-stress, to release ideas, and also to develop your creative practice and creative ideas. Some of you might enjoy this task a little bit more than others in terms of the task we've done previously, and I think that's because it is all about you. It's focusing on things that you like and things that you're interested in. So you can approach this task in many different ways, and I will show you that in a minute. So first things first, what I would like you to do once you've watched the video is you are going to have a go at analysing some art. So I've put these two pieces, I've labelled them A and B. And your first task today, you can do it at the bottom of an old page or the top of this one, but I don't really want it to be in an obvious view because I want this to be the focus, the artistic piece to be the focus. And I'd quite like to display these back in school when we go back. So just have the art on that page. You can do it in the back of your book or on a separate piece of paper, as long as you keep it all safe so I can look at it, that's fine. So yeah, I want you to analyse and look at the differences in these two journals. Now, it's really important to analyse art and discuss art to be able to grow your own creative process, and then for you to kind of develop your ideas independently from inspiration. So I've given you these 2 drawings. You can study them for a while. And what I would like you to do is to answer these questions about the artworks. So what does artwork A tell you? What does artwork B tell you? Which is your favourite and why? And then complete a comparison sentence between the 2, stating their differences. And then which style out of the 2 do you prefer? Which might you work in and why? I've also included in red at the bottom things you might discuss. So you can discuss the mood and atmosphere of them. How do they make you feel? The detail that can be seen in the drawings. What techniques have they used? What materials have they used? Are they successful? Text versus drawings. Is there more text than drawings? More drawings than text? Is there a balance? And then your personal opinions. Do you like or dislike them and why? And again, colours used. So there's quite a few questions to answer. I would say try and do this in a paragraph. You don't necessarily need to write the questions out, but I would like you to send me this. I want to see this paragraph. It's so I can start to understand what you understand about writing in art. So we're going to have a look now at the success criteria. So there should be high quality detailed drawings. You can use whatever medium you like to produce the drawings. There should be some notes and drawings. And you should use the artists that we're going to look at today, or that we've looked at, for some inspiration, but not copy their work. So, another tip, which is really, really great. I don't know if you've used it before, but Pinterest.com is a fantastic website to gain inspiration for artworks. It's something that if you take GCSE art, that I will expect you to use. And it's just great for everyday life, for things like planning, even decorating a new bedroom, or decorating your home, developing your artwork. There's literacy and literature on there. But Pinterest.com, and you can search almost anything. So you can see here I've searched art identity journal pages, and hundreds of ideas have come up. So it's a really, really great tool for inspiration. And now we all have our phones at our fingertips. This is a great idea. It could even be that you collage using Biro or another medium, and that could be something that you have a look at. But this is a creative task with some freedom today. So, style 1 was this one. So you could use Biro or pen or pencil and do some really, really nice tonal drawings. Style 2, this was Sandy Darden's journal. She's used lots of bright colours. She's used coloured pencil and pens to create her journal, along with writing. And then Tisha Moore, very different style journal. We're going to look at Tisha Moore in the coming weeks in a bit more detail. She does really, really bold, bright, abstract art. So that could be something you look at. But you can really, really study these in your own time today before you get started, and think about which type of journal might fit your preference in style of art. Okay, I've also put an extension on there. You can do another celebrity portrait if you want to, like last week. Send me them through if you did one last week, or if you're working on one, I'd love to see them. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you now about the content of what you should include when you are creating your journal. As you can see in this one, they've drawn items that represent their lockdown. So they've done their phone screen smashed, they've got some toilet roll, a game they played, hand soap that represents their time in lockdown, washing hands quite a lot. I'm going to show you some of the items that mean something to me. I've chosen a few. I could have chosen lots. But over the last 10, 11 weeks, some of these items I've found very useful. So I would use them in my drawing today. So I've got my hand gel, because whenever I go to the shops, I've always got that. A face mask, because I've realised that working from home can be stressful sometimes, and I forget to kind of relax. So having a bath has been my go-to during lockdown. What else have I got? Photos of friends are always good. Friends that I miss because I haven't seen them. A watch. I chose a watch because it feels like some days time has stood still because we're not moving on with our lives a little bit, because we're not out and about. So I kind of like that one as well. I made some earrings while I was in lockdown. So you might have made something. You could include that in your drawing. What else have I chosen? A postcard a friend sent to me. and a little nice message she sent as well. Books, I've been reading lots of books, so you could have your books in the pile, and then I've got a shopping bag that resembles my trip to the shops. So consider composition, consider the way you lay them out, don't just chuck it all down. Think about which items you want to be in the foreground and the background. You might overlap some items might fit together. For example, jewellery and earrings and a watch, artistic pieces, beauty products, etc. So I've just laid mine like that. When I am going to draw this, I wouldn't do it on this tablecloth because it makes it very difficult to see what I'm drawing. So I do it on a plain desk or table with a plain coloured surface because it'd be easier to draw. So that's the kind of thing that you should be doing. You're selecting some items that represent your lockdown, that are meaningful to you, and then you can write some notes that discuss them in your journal. So you're getting your creative thoughts and ideas down on paper. So that's that stage. The final thing is I wanted to show you a journal that I've already done. And this is something that I did at the beginning of lockdown. So it's not quite the same way that you're going to do yours. I'd like you to do yours in your book like this here over 2 double pages. And it might take you a couple of hours to do this task. If you've got A4 paper, you can obviously stick them together or sellotape them together, or just do 2 separate pages, that is fine. But it should be really high quality and detailed. So going back to mine, I created this using a fine liner and ink. I created this in about week 2 of lockdown. So my journal was quite intense, and the reason I created it was because I felt like I was feeling quite stressed with the situation that was going on at the moment. This was, in the height of lockdown when we couldn't leave our houses. We couldn't even, barely go to the shop, only for essentials, and stocks were low on the shelves. So, as you can see, I've got my NHS workers, and I've got support your key workers, and that was in commemoration for the Clap for Carers that we took place with every Thursday. Wash your hands there. This is a common sign that you see on doors, on posters, to symbolise that. I did some stressed out people in the shops with the empty shelves in the background. I've got a mask, hand sanitizer, toilet roll running out, symbolised there, germs from COVID. I've got stay at home, a rainbow to support the carers, and I've got some other bits and pieces there. So that was my representation. And I actually found it very therapeutic, so I hope that you do too. My final one that I'm going to show you, and don't forget you can do it in whatever materials you like. I found it really nice to do it in ink and then to add water, because I felt like the darkness of the ink kind of represented my mood. So that could be something that you do. You could even do a bit of a comparison to where you felt at the beginning of lockdown to where you feel now. So half of it could be colourful, half of it could be a bit darker. But I want you to tie in this idea of mood and feelings throughout. Another task that I did, which was a little bit of journaling, throughout lockdown, was I created my own journal tree. So I created my own journal tree. There's less drawings on this one, but the tree represented my moods throughout lockdown, and it was like little memos to keep myself busy and keep myself feeling motivated, and things that I could do to feel relaxed. So I'm not going to spend too much more time talking because I want you to just get on with your journal. But just to recap, you're creating your own journal page today after doing an analysis and comparison between these 2 pieces of work. And you should spend around an hour and a half, I would say, to 2 hours on this task. Now, if you don't finish it today, that's fine, but I need an update photo of how you're getting on. You can finish it for homework otherwise, but I want this to be done as if it's the best piece of work that you've done this entire year. It should be meaningful. I would quite like I said, to put these on the wall in school as like a reminder. And also it might be something that you keep hold of and reflect on later on in life. So please take care with this task. It's a really, really great process, journaling, for memories, for relaxing your mind and getting your kind of thoughts down on paper. So hopefully that is clear what I expect of you today, Year 9. Please take care with this task. And if you have any questions, by all means, please contact me. Don't forget you can use whatever materials you like. I want to see the creative freedom in this. Just make sure it's on a double page, not just one A4 page. I want it over 2, so you can get lots of ideas down, words and visual drawings. Hope that is clear. Take care and have a fab week. Bye guys.